Hi there and welcome to this video about for loops in programming. Now in our programs sometimes we want an instruction or a set of instructions to happen more than once, and when we want that to happen we use a loop. And a loop is a means or a structure, if you like, within our program that's set up to run a number of times, and within that structure we place the instructions that we want to happen more than once. Now there's two different types of loops that we can use. We can use fixed loops and non-fixed loops. And fixed loops, typically for loops, are ones where we know in advance how many times we want the thing to run or the set of instructions to happen. Okay, and non-fixed, which is where we don't know in advance. So as an example, that's where we want a loop to happen until a particular condition exists and we're not sure when that will be. Now in this video we're looking at for loops, and a for loop is a little bit like dealing a set of cards for a card game. Now if we know, let's say I'm playing a game called 3 Card Brag. Now in that game each player needs to have 3 cards. So if I've got Georgia and I've got Bob, then I know that I need to deal a card to Georgia, deal a card to Bob, deal a card to Georgia, deal a card to Bob, deal a card to Georgia, deal a card to Bob. So actually the instruction of deal a card to Georgia, deal a card to Bob needs to happen 3 times. So what I would do there is I would use a fixed loop because I know that it needs to happen 3 times. And when we use a fixed loop, we use a variable with it. And a variable basically is there to keep track of how many times the loop has run, and we can set it to go up by a particular value or go down by a particular value each time through the loop. So let's say I create a variable called loop counter and I set its value equal to 1. And I say that for that variable, while it's between, let's say, or while it's less than or equal to 3, then I want my loop to run. So the first time around the loop, okay, my variable has been set, so loop counter has been set to 1. So we do a little check and it says, well, is loop counter less than or equal to 3? Well, it's 1, so yes it is. So in that case, what I do is I deal a card to Georgia, there's my one instruction there, and I'm going to deal a card to Bob. In fact, actually I might just turn these over. So I deal a card to Georgia and I deal a card to Bob. Okay, so at that point my loop has run. It returns up to the top of the loop and says, okay, well, I need to step the value up now, let's say by 1. So loop counter adds 1 to it, so loop counter is now equal to 2. So it does the check on that and says, well, is loop counter still less than or equal to 3? Well, yes it is, it's 2. So we deal a card to Georgia and we deal a card to Bob. Okay, so the loop's finished again, it runs back up to the top and says, right, okay, add 1 to loop counter, so loop counter is now equal to 3. So we say, well, is that less than or equal to 3? Well, yes it is, it's equal to 3. So we deal a card to Georgia and we deal a card to Bob. Okay, loop's still working. Okay, so it goes back up to the top, we add 1 to loop counter, which now becomes 4. And we say, right, well, is loop counter still less than or equal to 3? Well, in this case, no, it's not. It's now greater than 3. So at that point, we're going to put down the cards. If you like, I'll just shuffle these across. Put down the cards and we stop dealing. Okay, so our work is done. So the loop has run. Those 2 instructions, deal a card to Georgia and deal a card to Bob, has run those 3 times and now it's complete. And that's a fixed loop. That's a for loop. That's how it works. In most programming languages, that's how for loops work.